Hello, guys. My name is Nicholas Earle, and welcome back to another edition of Talking Baseball with the Earle Brothers. My name is Nicholas Earle, and today we have a tier list for MLB Contenders. We're about halfway through the season. Most teams are a little bit more than halfway through, past that 82 game mark. So I think now is a good time to, right before the All-Star break, to kind of look and take a look at which teams where teams kind of rank up. And we have 5 categories for today. We have World Series or bust. These are teams that are all in, that a World Series is the only way that they'll be calling this a successful season. Playoff contender, a team that can win a round or two. Maybe it's a wild card team that can win, or like a team that can compete high for a wild card, or a division that can win and maybe make a CS or something along those lines. Wild card team, a team that probably won't make it past wild card weekend, but a team that looks like they will be a playoff team, but it's not a playoff contender. The outside looking in is just teams that I think will finish a couple games out, teams that'll fight towards the end, but just won't be good enough. And then better luck next season. That's just teams that are well out of it already, and we have plenty of those already. Let's get it started. The New York Yankees, they are World Series or bust. They were the 2024 American League champions, and currently they are in that top wild card spot, 52-41 on the year, 11 games over. And for the division, they currently trail the Blue Jays by 2 games. I still think they're a team that can absolutely win the division, and I think this is a team that, expectations-wise, will only be satisfied with a World Series win. The Mariners. Currently, the Mariners right now are 1 game behind the Red Sox for that last wild card spot. They're 48-45. I'm going to call them a wild card team. You can also put them in the outside looking in, because also when you look at them in the division, they are 7 games behind the Astros. So I don't really see them catching Houston in this spot. So this is a team that I don't think they'll win a round or two, even though that rotation come playoff time could be really nasty. When you have a Logan Gilbert, a Brian Wu, a Luis Castillo, pitchers like that being able to go game 1, game 2, game 3, I think that can be a very, very difficult out. However, I don't know if I see them good enough to win a round or two. The Rays, I'm going to put them in wild card team as well. I do think that this is a team that could win a round or two. I think that that's like their ceiling. I don't see them as a team that can win the World Series or make it to a CS, even though they are currently 2.5 games behind the Yankees for that top wildcard spot. They do lead the Red Sox by a half a game as well. For the second wildcard spot, they are a game and a half above the Mariners here as well for that wild card spot. I do think they are more of a wild card team than they are a true contender. Blue Jays, I'm going to put them in playoff contender. I think this is a team that can make some noise in the playoffs. They currently lead the Yankees by 2 games in the American League East. They're 54-39. They are 9-1 their last 10 games. They've been hot, and they are playing really well right now. They currently lead the division. I think absolutely they can win a round or two. Now, yes, I have the Yankees above them. I think for playoff-wise, now the Blue Jays could be interesting in the playoffs. Gausman, Barrios, and Bassett being your starting 3 for a rotation. But am I saying the Blue Jays can win a World Series this year? Not particularly. Instead, I do think that they can surprise some people and win a round or two. Marlins, better luck next year. No, really, not much to go over here. The Marlins are 42-50. They're 8 games out for the wild card, which is actually not as bad as we thought they were going to be. They're currently 11.5 games behind the Phillies for the division. Not a team that we're anticipating doing anything here. I'm going to put the Cardinals on the outside looking in. This is the first outside looking in team. They're a game behind the Giants, but they're also a half game behind the Padres. And they have to jump the Padres and the Giants, which they absolutely can. And they are a team that very well could. I think they've overperformed in the first half. I think that they could be a little bit more of a seller at the deadline, potentially, rather than a buyer or somebody who soft sells rather than goes out and buys. So I have the Cardinals on the outside looking in. They can absolutely be a wild card team. I can see an argument for them in the wild card team tier, but I think they're more of outside looking in. Currently 50-44, a game out for the last wild card spot. The Astros are World Series contenders. I think that this Astros team is one of the best teams in the American League right now. They are currently 55-38, quietly having one of the best seasons in the American League. They're a game above the Blue Jays for the second bye spot. They're 3.5 games behind the Tigers for the best record in the American League. But this is a team that's quietly done really, really well this year. And I believe we'll probably cruise with the division, currently 7 games up on the Mariners. But yeah, not a team I thought I would be doing this. Atlanta Braves, better luck next year. This has been a very disappointing Braves team, and as a Mets fan, absolutely love to see it. They're 10 games out for the wild card. They're currently 13.5 games out for the division. They trailed the Marlins by 2 games. So yeah, better luck next year, Atlanta. And I want to say the same thing for Baltimore. Currently, they're 6.5 games out for the wild card spot, but better luck next year, Baltimore. They're 42-50, and in order to get that in order to crack into the wild card, they not only have to gain 6.5 games, they have to pass Cleveland, Minnesota, LA, Texas, Kansas City, Seattle, and Boston. It's just way too much, I think, for the Orioles to have to come back from. So yeah, no, better luck next year to the Orioles and to the Guardians as well. They're 5 games out, 43-48. I think they could be a little bit more of a seller at the deadline. Definitely disappointing compared to what I thought they could do this year. I did not think the Tigers were going to be as good as they were, as good as they've been so far this season. So better luck next year to the Cleveland Guardians. Same thing for the Colorado Rockies. Do we really need to say much here? It's 21-72. And they are 29.5 games out for the last wild card spot. The Detroit Tigers are World Series contenders. This is the best team in the American League right now, 59-35. They have ran away with their division. I see absolutely no way possible that they don't win this division. Currently up 13 games on the Kansas City Royals, 13.5 on the Twins, 14.5 on the Guardians, 27.5 up on the White Sox. This team is absolutely clicking. They will add at the deadline, and they will be a threat to win the World Series. I think we have 6. Actually 7. I think 7 teams that are World Series or bust this year, potentially. Kansas City Royals, better luck next year. Actually, they're 3.5 games out. I'm going to put them on the outside looking in rather than that, because this American League wildcard picture is actually pretty poor, with the Red Sox currently in that last spot at 50-45. The Brewers, they are a wildcard team for me. I don't see them passing the Chicago Cubs. They are currently a half game above the Mets for that top wildcard spot. They would once again host the Mets in the wildcard round this year if the season were to end today. And I see them as a team that is a wildcard team that could win a round or two potentially. But do they beat the Mets? Do they beat the Phillies? Do they beat the Cubs? Do they beat the Dodgers? I think they are tier 2 in the National League behind those four teams there. Angels, outside looking in, they ain't dead. The LA Angels are not dead. They are 4 games out right now, out of the wild card spot. Granted, they would need to pass Texas, Kansas City, Seattle, and Boston, but we know the Angels are probably dumb enough to think maybe we should buy at the deadline here, and for whatever reason, and they're a team that could be a couple games out at the end of the year. Now they could fall right into this category here, but I'm going to be a little bit more optimistic on them here, and I guess you can be a little bit more optimistic maybe on the Cleveland Guardians here as well, but they're 5 games under. I think that's where I'm going to cut it off. There is Cleveland. The Oakland Athletics, better luck next year. 39-56, 11 games out of the wild card picture. And they are not catching the Astros. They're 17 games out and sitting in last place in the AL West. The Philadelphia Phillies are World Series a bust. I think this is the last year of their window to the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't see, when we look at next year, Zach Wheeler's another year older. Castellanos is going to be opting out or going to be a free agent. So is Kyle Schwarber. Harper's another year older. This core's another year older. I think that this is a Phillies team where it is now or never if they're going to win a World Series with this core. World Series are best for them. Pirates, feel like we could have done this in the beginning of the season. Better luck next year. They are currently the second worst team in the National League, 13 games out of the wild card picture. San Diego Padres, I think they're a wild card team. I think they're a team that is going to be right on the edge here. That if they sneak into that 6th seed, I would not want to be that last division winner that has to face them. They could be very sneaky, especially if they get Yu Darvish back at the end of the year, and they bolster that rotation a little bit. The Padres could be definitely a team that is a wild card team that could be a little bit of an annoying matchup there. Texas Rangers are on the outside looking in for me. They're currently 3.5 games behind, tied with the Royals. So I think them and the Royals are in a very similar situation. So we'll just go boom there, because and then both the Royals and the Rangers lead the Angels by half a game in that wild card race. 3.5, 4 games out. Minnesota's in the same picture there. So I feel like we can put. There we go. We'll just skip there. Minnesota is on the outside looking in here as well. The Red Sox. They're finally starting to turn things around. They've won 7 straight. 9 of their last 10. Granted, not against the greatest of competition, but they're getting wins. I think they are a wild card team. I'm going to put them in the wild card thing here. I think that this is a team that will sneak into the playoffs. And here's the thing with that not with the rotation, but with that team, are they a playoff contender? That's something that, like, I'm going back and forth with the Red Sox right now. Is if they continue playing the way they are right now, this is a playoff contender that can make some noise. If we go back to them being average, I don't know if they're a wild card team. So it's a very tricky team. The Giants are interesting as well because they're currently half game up on the Padres, and I don't know where to put them here. I think I want to put them as a fringe playoff contender. And I'm going to do the same with the Red Sox, just because we don't have enough teams in that second category there. Because the Giants could win a round or two. They have the rotation. They have that game one starter, Logan Webb. Good luck against him. They have, and same with the Red Sox, Garrett Crochet. They have that shutdown guy in that first game potential there. And we see the Giants. They can I think the Giants could pull off an upset against the Philadelphia Phillies or something like that if they are that 3-6 matchup. I think that the Giants could beat the Cubs. I think the Giants in the right situation could go very far. The Dodgers are World Series contenders. No sugarcoating it here. They are World Series or bust, defending World Series champions. They are the top of the list here. They still, even though it feels like they've had not a great year, they are the best record in the National League by half a game over the Cubs. This is a really, really good Dodgers team still with a lot of injuries. So we have, the Dodgers are just a clear and obvious one there. The Diamondbacks are weird. They're 5 games out. Where do you want to draw the line? I feel like I want to draw the line at Cincinnati and say better luck next year, Arizona. I don't see a world where Arizona is making the playoffs this year unless they go on an extreme hot streak. They're currently 2 games under 500. That's where I'm going to cut the line, cut it off. Is in the National League, you need to be above 500 for me to say, for me not to say better luck next year at this moment. White Sox, better luck next year. I feel like that one's simple. Same with the Nationals. We got 3 teams left. The New York Mets are World Series or bust. They have spent all the money, and I believe they're going to go out at the deadline and be very aggressive. They have a farm system that's improving, that has a lot of intriguing prospects that sellers could be interested in. And I think this Mets team is going to be very aggressive for some bullpen arms. Aroldis Chapman, please. A starter or 2, and maybe a center field bat. So don't be surprised when the Mets are very aggressive at the deadline, and they are a World Series or bust team. Same with the Cubbies. These are the 7 teams I can see winning the World Series this year: Dodgers, Yankees, Astros, Tigers, Mets, Phillies, Cubs. This is very similar, other than the Tigers. Feel like a very similar list to probably preseason as well. So those are my 7 ones there. And on the outside looking in, the final team will be the Cincinnati Reds. So that is my list here for contenders: World Series or bust. Dodgers, Yankees, Astros, Tigers, Mets, Phillies, Cubs. Playoff contenders are the Blue Jays, the Giants, the Red Sox. The wildcard teams for me: Mariners, Brewers, Rays, and Padres. Outside looking in: Cardinals, Royals, Rangers, Texas. LA Angels, Minnesota Twins, Cincinnati Reds. Better luck next year: Marlins, Braves, Orioles, Guardians, Athletics, Rockies, Pirates, Diamondbacks, White Sox, and Nationals. Let me know which ones I got wrong, which ones I got right. And you guys seem to like the like the tier list. Got almost 200 views on that one there. It was the first video on this channel to crack 100 views. So I thought, why not go back to another tier list? So let me know, where did I get it right? Where did I get it wrong? But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.